Hi everyone, it's Carol here, the founder of the Sleep Success Academy, and we're already at day 6 of Sleep Awareness Week. As all the other days, there is a worksheet you can download and print it in the description below. I also have it on my screen here to go through it with you. But today we're starting to think about what to do on restless nights. And believe it or not, even good sleepers have restless nights. So don't feel bad about having them. We all have them. What we need to know though is what to do when those happen. So let's start with the worksheet. So even with best intentions, some nights will be restless. I have them too, and I'm a great sleeper now, but I still have those nights. It's important to have calming tools that can help you navigate those moments without frustrations, because frustrations will only activate our nervous system, making it harder for us to go back to sleep or fall asleep in the first place. Tonight, we're going to focus on gentle techniques to help you relax and feel more at ease, even if sleep doesn't come right away. And so I want to say this because a lot of people want to fall asleep within 10 to 15 minutes, and that would be ideal and that would be great if that happens. Oh, see, I'll get my resource, my nice warm blanket. So it's ideal if we can, but when we can't, what can we do to create this routine for our body or this awareness for our body that it is time for sleep? And this is where the tools come in. But before we can use the tools, we got to create awareness. So that's what step one's all about. So notice any restlessness. So when you wake up during the night or you find it hard to sleep, what are your body sensations? Do you feel tense, restless, anxious, calm? What is that emotion? And what is my mind doing? Right? Do I have racing thoughts? Am I overthinking? Am I calm? And you might say, well, Carol, if I'm anxious, how can my mind be calm? And this is what we learn in the Better Sleep community. We always look at fight, flight, and freeze. And sometimes our mind can be really calm and we can't sleep. And we're thinking, what's up with that? Well, it's because the fight or flight energy that we have that's activated. I like to use this, so this fight or flight energy. And on top of it comes the freeze response of our nervous system that is masking and pushing down the anxious feelings. And so we're waking up at night and our mind is calm and we're like, I don't know why I can't sleep. And it's because this freeze is underneath it. But inside, our body still has that fight or flight energy. And so I just wanted to say that. That's why I put the word calm there, because it's very possible that you would wake up calm and not be able to go back to sleep and then wonder why not. And the last thing I want you to notice, am I feeling frustrated or accepting of the wakefulness? And we work a lot on accepting wakefulness in the Better Sleep community because once we do, we fall asleep again. When we are frustrated, we don't. So how can I know that it's normal to wake up 4 or 5 times during the night, usually fall asleep again without noticing? But on the days that I don't, how can I just accept that I just woke up? All right, I want you to just notice without judgment. Sometimes being aware is enough to calm the nervous system. So sometimes, like, it's so amazing once you start talking and working with your nervous system and you're like, oh, I just woke up. Okay. And then people will say in the Better Sleep community now, like, they wake up through the night and they're like, just, okay, I woke up, go use the washroom, do whatever, have a drink of water, fall back asleep within 10, 15 minutes. They're not worried or frustrated or activated by it anymore. They know they'll still be able to function the next day. So, what can we do to get ourselves there though? So, this is where using a calming tool helps. If you're awake and restless, try one of these restless tools to help you relax. So, gentle tapping. Tap lightly on the acupressure points to soothe your nervous system. You can learn more about this in the Better Sleep community or even in some of my other videos. So the points are the side of the hand, top of the head, eyebrow, side of the eye, under the nose, chin, collarbone, and then under the arm. So those are the general points, but in the middle of the night, that might be hard. So we also have points on the end of our fingers. So you can be laying down, tapping those. You can gently squeeze your fingers. Sorry about the cough, just gentle squeeze. And then you can also maybe just imagine tapping the points. So if you're familiar with tapping, you can even just imagine tapping the points as you're laying there. I love to count to 7 for some reason. That's just what I do. You could count to 10, you could count to 3. It doesn't matter. It's just that I'm focusing on numbers while I'm tapping. So I clear my mind and I calm my nervous system and then able to fall back asleep. So that's gentle tapping. There's breath awareness. So focus on breathing at a pace that feels natural to you. You don't have to force it. Simply notice the rise and fall of your breath. So a lot of the work or the studies that I've done with Irene Line, who's a nervous system expert, she says we should never try to control our breath. There are times for it and there's times not to. And so for me, I've really learned to just listen to my breath instead of trying to force it. However, if it feels good for you to extend your breath, and we really want to extend it on the exhale. The exhale is where the calming signal gets sent to our amygdala to calm the nervous system. So we just want to make our exhales as long as we can without holding our breath or without forcing it. So just playing with the breath, that can help you go back to sleep. Orienting exercises, we did that in day 2. Use your senses to connect to your environment around you. Notice a few things you can see, hear, feel, or smell that are calming. I just love feeling my sheets when I wake up at night. And I keep telling myself, like, oh, I'm so lucky to have these nice, comfy sheets. And that calms my nervous system. Doesn't always work. If I'm too activated, though, that might not work. And then comforting visualization. So imagine a peaceful scene, like being by the ocean or lying on a warm, cozy space. So those are gentle calming tools. What I want to say to you is that there are times they won't work. A lot of times they will, and then there's other times you're better off just getting out of bed, sitting on the couch, doing some tapping. I have a video on rant tapping. You can get my 3 tapping meditations for better sleep. And one of them I have how to use tapping in the middle of the night. These are things you can use to help you calm yourself, but a lot of times they can just be gentle calming tools. So then a reflection. After your night, reflect on your experience. What did you notice about your restlessness? Was it a physical or mental? And how intense was it? So this is very important to notice, because if it was physical, your restlessness, then tapping will help, or maybe more exercise during the day so you're not so physically restless, because it just could be that you didn't have enough physical activity in the day. Or was it mental? Was it you thinking about the next day's project, or were you stressed about something? And again, that could be setting boundaries or doing more tapping on those feelings, right? What tool did I use to help myself calm down? So, did you just use the finger tapping? Or did you use your breath awareness? So what we talk about too in the Better Sleep community, so it's like the level of activation that is happening when I wake up at night, and how it's going to be different every night or with every person. And we talk about this a lot because it happens to so many of us where we wake up through the night. And so I just had one last week where we talked about her getting out of bed and doing some tapping, then going back to bed, if that was possible. And if it wasn't possible, what could she do while she stayed in bed? But we don't want to stay in bed too long when we're really frustrated, because we don't want to create that negative sleep association with the bed where it's a place to ruminate, right? We really want to break that pattern of staying awake in bed. We want our bed to be, our nervous system to know that the bed is a place to sleep. How did I feel when I was able to return to sleep, if I did? So this would be like the next day when you think about it, like, wow, like it only took me 10 minutes this time to go back to sleep as opposed to like 2 hours in the past. And so really focusing on the gains of that. So remember, restless nights are completely normal and don't mean you're not doing anything. I want to read that again. Remember, restless nights are completely normal and don't mean you're doing anything wrong. The goal is to approach them with kindness and patience. I still have restless nights, not as many as before, and they're very rare now, but I still have them. And I just remind myself that that's okay. It's part of being human. So this is it for day 6. Can't wait to see you tomorrow for the final day, where we're going to talk about your next best step. Reflect on what worked and choose one practice to continue beyond the sleep challenge. So I know I've talked about a lot of stuff in this challenge, but what's the one thing you can take away for you? And we're going to talk about that tomorrow. So that's it, and I can't wait to see you for the final day tomorrow.